Hello, everybody on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and NFL fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my early picks for the 2020-21 NFL season. Check it out. Well, it's that time of the year again. NFL season's around the corner, but the only question is now, are we going to have a season? Because of the coronavirus and the pandemic going on, and things like that. And hey, we're here to judge. We're here. That's all I'll tell you. But, anyways, as far as I know, the season's still continuing, so we'll just find out what happens. So, anyways, I don't know how this is gonna make out. Maybe they'll have no fans at all this year. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll get some. I don't know. Maybe they'll have a special mask for the visors. So, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year how they're going to work it out with this pandemic going on. So, it's going to be very interesting to find out about that. So, we'll continue on when the season rolls along. So, if there's a season possibility. But, like I said, it's a very interesting offseason with the coronavirus pandemic, with everything else going on, with no fans going in there. There could be no this, no that going on. So, anything like that. Big free agency. Tom Brady leaving my New England Patriots to go to the Buccaneers. So is Rob Gronkowski, who came back from retirement. Yeah, wow, and so that's a lot of big free agencies going on around there. So, hey, I gotta say, we had Brady for 20 years. I've been grateful for those 20 years, and all they can do is just move on. So that's all you can do, and that's the plan is for my Patriots this year. And yeah, what can I say? We got new uniforms too. I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing Matthew Slater. Yeah. You know, I'm not a really big fan of the color rush jersey, so they promoted that. But it's the Patriots. I support anything with the Patriots too. So now we're going to find out if it's Bill Belichick or is it Tom Brady. So maybe I'm gonna give you my predictions on that right now when I make the videos and all that. So anyway, so we'll find out soon enough. Anyways, all that. So until then, well, let's kick things off. Let's kick things off in the NFC side. We're going to kick things off in the NFC East. I believe this is going to be a very good one. One of the offseason moves they did is the Dallas Cowboys. And believe it or not, I have them winning the NFC East this year. Believe it, you know why? Finally got rid of Jason Garrett, and they brought in former Green Bay Packer head coach Mike McCarthy in there. So I think that's going to be a big situation. That was a good move, I believe, by Jerry Jones. I think this is going to be a big stepping stone for Dallas. So I think this is going to be a really good mark. And I think they're going to take that NFC East this year because of that. I think they only needed was a coaching change, I believe. So maybe they'll get Dak Prescott a good deal too. Maybe while they're at it. So who knows? But anyways, I think that's a great move for Dallas to pick up Mike McCarthy. So I think that's going to be a big answer right there. I know that's going to be a gut-punching wrench for the Green Bay Packers. But don't worry, Green Bay. We'll talk about you in a minute. So, but anyways, I think they're gonna take the NFC East. They're gonna take that division, and they're ranking number 4. All right, let's go to the NFC West now. So we're gonna go East and West and Central and South, North and South. So that's how it's gonna play out on that. So the NFC West. This is gonna be a tight division. It's a battle between two teams. It's Seattle and San Francisco, the defending NFC champions. So I think that's going to be how that one's going to roll out in that division. But yeah, believe it or not, in that division, I see the Rams plummeting. You know, they got new uniforms. They're going to start plummeting. They're going to have a rebuild year. I think that's how they're going to roll out with that for the LA Rams. I don't know. I think that's how I see it. But anyways, I think. Who's going to take in for the Arizona Cardinals? I think they're going to be a surprise not. I think they're going to barely just miss the playoffs, I think. But that's how they're going to roll out with that. But believe it or not, who's going to take the NFC East, San Francisco or Seattle? My answer, Seattle. I think Seattle's going to be off to redemption this year against the defending NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. I think Russell Wilson is going to have a bounce back year. I think he's going to have a great bounce back year and things like that. So I think Pete Carroll and Russell Westbrook are going to try to turn that team around. I really think they're going to do something. I think they're finally rebuilding the defense, which they needed to do the last few years. So I think that's going to be really good for Seattle. So I think I'm going to pick Seattle to take that division this year. And, of course, the NFC North, the Green Bay Packers. Yep. Oh, by the way, I forgot. The Seattle Seahawks, number 3. They're going to be the 3rd place in the NFC. And now we get to the Green Bay Packers. That's when this is going to kick in. Green Bay, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to make some noise this year. They're going to like, hey, I don't need Mike McCarthy and things like that. Maybe we'll face Mike McCarthy in the playoffs. I'm not here to judge on that, but anyways, it could happen. It could happen. It could be a revenge game for both the Packers and Mike McCarthy if it comes down to that. We'll find out when the season rolls along. But I think Green Bay is going to take this division. I think they're going to probably we're still at the top of the NFC North. We're at the top of the NFC North for a reason. So I think Green Bay is going to take that division. And honestly, Green Bay, number 2 in the NFC East. All right, let's go to the Nfc South. So I think this division, we got the big height team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got the new uniforms of the Atlanta Falcons, which is not much they didn't do in free agency. And of course Cam Newton, who got dumped and went to my New England Patriots. So really, I think Carolina's going to the rebuilding mode, so I don't see them in there. I don't see Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to still be Atlanta. Said Super Bowl 51. But anyways, believe it or not, who's going to take the NFC South and the number 1 seed in the NFC East, I'll say, the New Orleans Saints. I'll tell you that one right now. I think this is the year, finally the year, to get over the hump. I don't believe they're not a snake-bitten franchise right now, ever since they won that Super Bowl 44. So I think they're out of that. But I'm not blaming the Saints on their problems. They got a Super Bowl and things like that 11 years ago. I think they're going to redo for another one this year. It could be. We'll see how my early playoff prediction is going to roll. So anyways, the New Orleans Saints taking 13-3 in the record, I think, and they're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC East. So there you have it. Number 1 in the NFC, the Saints. Number 2, the Green Bay Packers. Number 3, the Seattle Seahawks. And number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. Now you're asking, the wild cards. Who's going to be the 3 wild card teams this year? Yes, 3 wild card teams this year. That's the only difference this year. That's going to be brand new and for the NFL. It's going to be 3 wild card teams this year. So this is going to be a really good one. Honestly, I think they should have gone to a 4-team wild card, do an all 8, 1 versus 8 or things like that. I think that's how they should have rolled it, but hey, whatever. But anyways, I'll tell the wild card teams. 1, the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe they're gonna take the 6th seed. I think that's how they're gonna roll with this one. And I think for the 5th one, for the 5th spot for the wild card, the 49ers. I think they're gonna probably tie the Seattle Seahawks, but Seattle take the advantage because of their wins. So the win total and things like that. So, anyways, I think they'll get the 5th wild card. So, 49ers number 5 and the Eagles number 6, and of course the last one who's gonna take that 7th spot? I believe is the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, I'm not saying Brady's not gonna do well in Tampa. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say Gronk's not gonna do well. But what I'm gonna say with that situation for the Bucs, why I didn't pick them, just because they overhype a team, why they got Gronk and why they got Brady, doesn't mean they're gonna be really good. I mean, there's a reason why Belichick got rid of them. Maybe he sees something about it. Who knows? There's a good chance, high chance on that, for why Belichick did what he did in the offseason to dump Brady, and why he let Brady go to the Bucs, and why they let Gronk sign with the Bucs too. So there's a reason for that. And there's an old saying, I believe Mike Ditka said that before, if I'm not mistaken. Great players don't make a great team. A great team makes a great team. So that's what I think that's what's going to come down to. Just because they're an overhyped team doesn't mean anything. So I don't know. Who knows? But that's the reason why I'm not picking Tampa Bay, because I think they're overhyped too much. They did that with Cleveland last year, and look what happened to them. And I feel like and they did that with Philadelphia a few years ago when they added Vince Young and I think a few running backs, and they came plummeted too. And I think that didn't work out that way too. So that's all what it is to it. But anyways, let's continue. Let's continue on to the AFC East now, shall we? Let's continue with the AFC side right now. All right, let's go to the AFC East now. I hate to spoil this, but this is going to be an end for the division streak for my Patriots. I believe that was 11 in a row they won the division. That's going to end, I think. And believe it or not, I like Buffalo to take that division. So, but I'm not spoiling the Patriots yet. So, I'll talk about the Patriots in a sec. So, the Bills, I believe they're going to be the team in the division this year. I really think that's going to be the team to beat. So, hey, we'll see. But, anyways, I think they're going to be 12-4 and number 3 in this one. Let's go to the AFC West right now. I believe this is going to be the toughest division in the AFC. So, I think that's a team to look out for. You got the Chargers, you got the Chiefs, and you got the LA Raiders, which I think they may do a little something, but they just opened a new stadium, but they're not going to let fans in there. That's not going to be a good way to open a new stadium, so I don't know. But, and of course, you got the Denver Broncos, too, so you got all that going in there. So I don't really see Denver or the Vegas Raiders are going to go anywhere, but it's going to come down to the two teams, and the Chargers and the Chiefs. Believe it or not, who I think is going to take that division? The Kansas City Chiefs. Yep, the defending Super Bowl champions. I think they're going to take that division again. And my prediction for that, the Chiefs, number 2 in the NFC East as the defending Super Bowl champions. They're going to be ranked number 2 in this division. And I'll tell you about who's going to take number 1 in a sec. It's in the AFC Central. All right, now I'm going to say this right now. The AFC Central, it's going to be a really tight division. You got Big Ben coming back from Pittsburgh. You got Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. You got Baker Mayfield in Cleveland. And, of course, you got a rookie quarterback down in Cincinnati. So I think this is going to be an upcoming division. It's going to be an upcoming tough division in the next few years. We'll see. Who knows? But I think at this point right now, it's going to go to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens going number 1. Going 13-3, so they're going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC, and I'll tell you about the wild card in that division in a second. There's a wild card in there, and of course the AFC South. But let alone the AFC South, I think it's going to come down to this. Who's going to have the better advantage? I know Tennessee. I think it's going to come down to Tennessee with Mike Vrabel as the head coach. Learned under Hoodie. He's doing pretty well down there. I think it's going to drive them into a championship form. Maybe not in this year, but maybe in the next couple of years. So we'll see how this one turns out. But I think, as of right now, the one thing I'm a little concerned about, whoever's going to get that division, is Houston. I think that's going to be a little... If they step up on defense, I think I'll have a little more faith in Houston. But as of now, I don't. So that's why I don't really... It's not that I don't trust J.J. Watt or anything like that. I mean, it just can't be all him. So... I think what I'm saying to this, Deshaun Watson, he needs help on wide receivers too. I'll tell you that one too right now. But in this one, at this point, I'm taking the Tennessee Titans winning the AFC South. I think the Colts are in rebuild mode. I think they're Slav Managan on that one. I think they're gonna rebuild without Andrew Luck again for a second year in a row. I think what else is gonna happen? I think not only in Indianapolis, I think it's going to be coming down to Houston, and I think Jacksonville as well. I think Jacksonville's going to be rebuilding as well. So you got a couple of teams down there going to rebuild, and they got Houston going to be trying to at least fight for a playoff spot, but I don't think they're going to make it in that one. So I think it's going to be Tennessee going 11-5, good ranking number 4. So there you have it. My number 1 seed is the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC. Number 2, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. And number 4, the Tennessee Titans. who are the wild cards in this one? The 3 wild cards. So the first wild card team, I think it's going to be in the 5th one. I think it's going to come down with my New England Patriots getting the wild card. I think they're going to be ranking on the 10 wins total. They're going to be 10-6. The reason why I say that, people are saying they're going to be in the going to the top 5 in the draft. I don't think that's going to happen in this case. Not if you have Belichick as your head coach. No way. Unless Belichick's not there. I mean, it's something different. But even if they do, there's no way they're not drafting an offensive player. No way. There's no way. No, Trevor Lawrence. They're going defense. Belichick goes defense first. Just remember that. Very rarely he does. I know he did that with Shoney Michel a couple of years ago. And I think he got a tight end one year. So, very rarely he drafts a first round on offense. Very rarely. He always goes defense first. So, place your bets if you're going to do a draft this year and they go to the top 5, they're going to get a defensive player. But no matter what they stand on that, I don't even know what they're going to do with this pandemic going on. Now they cancel a lot of college football games. We'll see how that one turns out on that one down the road. But anyways, what I'm saying is there's no way they're not going to get a top 5 draft pick. And if they do, it's going to be on defense. There's no way, as long as Belichick's there, he's going defense, no matter what he does on the draft coming the next offseason. But with Belichick, he knows what he's doing. He has a thing up his sleeve. We'll see how that one turns out. So, there's no way they're not going to be a top 5 seed. I'm telling you right now. Even if they do, like I'm saying, it's probably going to be on defense. Even if it doesn't, they don't go a top 5, they're going defense anyway. So, that's one of the others on that one. All right, the number 6 wild card, the LA Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to take that spot in there. I like Anthony Lynn. I think he's a great coach. I think he's going to be able to say it. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to pick him coach of the year, though. The NFC side, Mike McCarthy. I think that he's going to turn that team around in Dallas, too. I think that's what the 2 coaches of the years on both sides in the division. And, of course, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm calling this right now. Big Ben having to come back player of the year. I'm going to call that one in the books right now. I think Big Ben's going to lead them to the playoffs. Have a good comeback story. He's going to have a comeback player of the year. That's my take on that one. And your MVP, believe it or not, I'm definitely going to probably say this. Russell Wilson. If he can step it up to the plate, I think he's going to win MVP. If he takes that division. Just why? You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. He's going to get MVP. I'm going to, on the NFC side. If there's a case, but I don't know. It's a toss-up between Lamar Jackson, too. I'm not going to, and Patrick Mahomes. I don't know. It's a tough call. It could be David Henry from the Titans. Could be Henry from the Titans. Who knows? But anyways, so those are my playoff formats. So we're going to take the wild cards of the division. Let's get down to the early playoff predictions. Okay. That's the early playoff predictions are here. Here's how this is going to go. Whoever's number 1 gets the bye week. That's how it goes. Number 2 doesn't get the bye week anymore. So that's the little bummer thing about it. So here's how it's going to go. I believe it's 2 and 7 versus 3 and 6. There's 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 5 versus 4. And number 1 is the bye week. Whoever gets that's going to be the have home field advantage. So I think that's how it's going to roll out, and that's how I'm going to play out anyways. So, anyways, let's talk. We'll find out more about how this play rolls along on that one. But anyways, I think since I did the NFC side in the early on the division standings and the wild cards, I'm going to go to the AFC side first. I'm going to put number 2 Kansas City and the number 7 Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're going to face off in the first round, and Kansas City's going to take that one. No, if you're going to go to Arrowhead, yeah. There's a very high chance you're going to win. Yeah. Kansas City's going to win that. So, I like Kansas City winning this one. And, of course, Buffalo and San Diego. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to roll it down with Buffalo in this one. I finally get a playoff win for the first time in years. So, I think that's how they're going to roll out. I think I'm not mistaken, the last time they got a playoff win was in 94, I think it was like 26 years ago after they won the 4th straight, I believe. I think that's how when was the last time they won a playoff game, I think that's how they roll out. I mean, I forgot. It's been so long. Just say that they want a playoff game, so that's how I'm gonna roll it with that. So, anyways, I like the Buffalo winning that over against the LA Chargers as they come to number 16, and of course, then my New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans in the wild card, the rematch of last year's wild card. Tennessee has their number. Can't bet against Belichick's mentors, so I'm taking Tennessee on that one. So I think my Patriots going to be out of the wild card again, like they did last year. They kicked us out of there. So, anyways, I think how this is going to go. One versus 4, which is Tennessee number 4, and number 1, the Baltimore Ravens, and number 2, Kansas City Chiefs, and number 3, Buffalo Bills. That's how it's going to roll out on that one. How's this going to roll? Well, Buffalo and Kansas City. I'm going to start with that one. Arrowhead, like I said, that's a tough place to play, especially in the playoff format. You should have seen them the last few years as well. Even with my Patriots had a hard time when they had that last Super Bowl run. But I think that's going to play the same out again with Buffalo. I think I'm going to say, like I said with my Patriots, though, they had a hard time against that AFC Championship game against the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That was loud. But I think that's where that's going to roll out with that. And it's all going to come down to that. But, like I mentioned, no fans. That's going to be a big test for the Kansas City Chiefs. No fans. So how are they going to do that? That's going to be really good. Even if it's a tough place to play. It's a really tough with the grass field and everything. It's a different atmosphere going to Arrowhead, believe it or not. So that's how I feel about it. But anyways, that's what's going to lead out to that. Is the Chiefs winning that game, and they're going to advance to the AFC Championship game for the 3rd year in a row. Who's gonna meet them there? Tennessee or Baltimore? Will it be the rematch of the Chiefs and Titans in the AFC Championship game last year, or is it going against Baltimore? And believe it or not, I like Baltimore making a great story for this. Getting bounced out in the first round last year, losing that divot, losing the first round, one and done. And Tennessee upset them. They might have a high chance on that one, if I'm going to say. But I think Baltimore's going to get for some redemption. So I think John Harbaugh is going to have a little something playing around that time of year anyway. So I actually like Baltimore getting their redemption in this one. And they're going to meet the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. I think that's my the early AFC Championship game prediction. Baltimore and Kansas City. And this one, it's in Baltimore, though. So now Kansas City don't have it. But I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one. They're going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, in Super Bowl 55, I think. So that's how they're going to represent in Super Bowl 55. The AFC side is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. All right. The NFC side. 2 versus 7. Number 2, Green Bay. Number 7, the Philadelphia Eagles. That's how I think that's one's going to roll out. Go to Lambeau Field. Can't beat Lambeau Field. Especially, even if there's no fans this year. Oh, the cold air. That's going to be a tough one. So I'm actually going to go with Green Bay on this one and Aaron Rodgers. And it's Philly's going to be a one-and-done team. They're going to be out of the playoffs in Green Bay. So I'm going to take Green Bay over the Philadelphia, if that comes down to that. And, of course, Seattle and Minnesota. They had a playoff game a few years ago about Minnesota, and Seattle barely beat them. It's going to go right down that again. So I think Seattle's going to, but it's in Seattle this time. So, like I mentioned, Seattle's a tough place to play as well, but it's going to be no fans. What are they going to do without the 12th man? That's going to be a big question on that. That's going to be a big question mark on some of these teams this year. What they're going to do without fans this year, without the coronavirus. So that's a big question on that one. But I'm pretty sure Russell Wilson will have something in mind. And I think that's what we'll do. That's going to roll down to. But I'm going to take Seattle over Minnesota on that one. So, anyways, I think, believe it or not, the Dallas and San Francisco. The San Francisco number 5 and Dallas number 4. The defending NFC champions. On that one, it's going to be Dallas. Like I said, don't trust Dallas in a playoff game. And this one, especially the old rivals, the San Francisco 49ers, they always play them tough every time they're in the playoffs with these two teams. Especially in the 90s, they were 2 of the toughest teams in football in the 90s in the NFC. they beat each other just to get to the Super Bowl. And in fact, they actually won the Super Bowl when they faced each other too. So it's kind of like an interesting toss-up on that one. It's more to say on that one. But anyways, that's what I'm gonna roll down to. San Francisco, the defending NFC champions, on that one. So I'm gonna say that as an upset, San Francisco beats Dallas on this one. And of course, you got the number 1 first round bye, the New Orleans Saints. They're gonna face off in the division round against San Francisco. And of course, you got number 2 Green Bay versus number 3 Seattle in this one. Very interesting on this one. San Francisco and New Orleans. History playoff on the catch 3, where San Francisco when Vernon Davis caught it for the game-winning touchdown pass. And I was in Seattle this time. New Orleans this time, excuse me. I think that's going to roll down to the Drew Brees and the Saints. That's what's going to come down to on that one. I like the New Orleans Saints beating San Francisco on that one. They're going to show why. It's our time now. So I think that I'm definitely going to go with the Saints on that one. In Green Bay and Seattle, yeah, another team rivalry. This goes back all the way down to 2012 when they had the Hail Mary game. So, but it's in Lambeau Field this time. So this is going to be very interesting on that one. So, and like I said, cold air, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect teams like that. So I'm going to take Green Bay over Seattle on that one. That's how that one goes out. I'm sorry. And of course, the NFC Championship game is the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers. That's my early prediction on that. Of course, I got to go with the Saints on this one. Even though they're team, we're finally going to get our time. I think this is it. So I think representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year, my early pick, the New Orleans Saints. I think they're going to take it out in the NFC. They're going to be your NFC champions, go right to Super Bowl 55. So Super Bowl 55 is going to be the Saints and Ravens, I think. I think that's going to come down to the Super Bowl this year, down in Tampa Bay. I believe there's going to be no fans at all this year, too. So, I don't know. They're all saying that. So, anyways, Super Bowl early prediction. Who I pick? Saints or Ravens? It's going to come down to it's going to be an offensive explosion on that one. I'll tell you that one right now. Offensive game. It's going to be a quarterback duel in this one. Like something you see in Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw in Super Bowl 13. You'll see something like that, I believe. So I think it's going to come down to that. It's going to be an offensive battle. And whoever's gets the ball last is going to win the game. Who's that going to be? Drew Brees and the Saints on this one. Yeah, that's right. My early prediction, Drew Brees and the Saints finally get a second Super Bowl championship. I think this is the time for them. Like I said, third time's the charm for the Saints. When they finally get over the hump since Super Bowl 44. That's the old saying. Third time's a charm. I think that's what they're going to roll it out this year. You know what? They had the Stickum from the Minnesota Miracle and the NFC Championship game with the pass interference call and things like that, et cetera, et cetera. And then the catch 3, I can go on with how the Saints have bad luck since Super Bowl 44. Finally, this is the time for the Saints. This is the Saints' time for this one. They're going to win this game if it comes down to Super Bowl early prediction. You heard it here, folks. Saints and Ravens in the Super Bowl 55. Saints win it. That's going to wrap up my NFL early 2020-21 predictions, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. And until then, I'm going to keep doing this until the pandemic's over. And I'm going to drive people nuts about this. I don't really care. Please, everyone, please wear a face mask when you go out in public. It's going to help save lives. I understand it's going to be uncomfortable on your face. I understand that. And I work in retail myself. I totally understand. But I'm telling you, please, save people's lives. Save yourself, too. I don't want anyone getting sick with this virus going on with this pandemic. But until then, this is Andrew Warren signing off saying, stay safe, stay healthy, and rock out.